You know, it's only one opportunity to win a championship. No round twos. Let's get it. Boom!
Big news coming out from this weekend. We just found out that the one and only Kendrick Lamar will be headlining Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. He will be performing at the halftime show. He is coming off of an astounding, incredible year in hip hop, in music in general. And this feels like the big capstone, the final lap, I think, to everything that is achieved up until this point. We thought that the pop out might have been the final victory lap, but it has gotten significantly bigger, and the stakes have been raised because there is no bigger stage in entertainment than the halftime show. Those 13 minutes are the most eyeballs possible to see somebody perform. We've seen it countless times, what it's done to the business for certain artists, what it's done recently for artists like Usher and Rihanna, just like immediately after the success of their performances, numbers shoot and go through the moon, ticket sales shoot up, all sorts of crazy stuff starts to happen. And so this is really huge news. First and foremost, before we do dive into to other aspects of this, what do you think about this? How do you feel about Kendrick being selected to be the person that's going to headline the halftime show in 2025?
I mean, he's one of the hottest stars out right now. It just makes, I think, a ton of sense with the summer, I think, that we just witnessed. Because the Super Bowl, it just makes sense as it's all coming, I think, full circle. And what we've seen, we haven't seen a rapper this hot in a long time, I don't think. So why not take that heat and do something with it? And I think, Jay-Z picking him as Super Bowl halftime show, it makes a ton of sense. They could have went with somebody else, but it's like, duh, go with Kendrick. He's on fire right now.
So love this news. I think it makes all the sense in the world. I was surprised by it. I just, I'm not thinking about the Super Bowl every day at all. And so to hear it and to see it, it's like, whoa, oh my God, that just reinforces how big of a moment everything has been leading up until this point. And it was just incredible to see them go with this choice and to platform hip hop again in such a major way, which, ever since Jay-Z and Roc Nation took over the handling of the Super Bowl, they have done a very purposeful and intentional job to get black artists back on that stage and to give hip hop and urban acts back on that stage, because we were banned from the Super Bowl for so long because of ridiculous things, from the past. And so now hip hop once again takes center stage, being super influential, being super important to just how everything moves and how everything is dictated. And just based off of everything that's happened, over the past 6 months for Kendrick, this is truly just the ultimate signifier of his power, of his cultural influence, and just of ultimately his talent and his ability to command this type of stage. It's truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. And so I'm so excited to see how it all turns out and what the vision is going to look like. Now, a couple of things. First and foremost, Kendrick in his announcement said you only get one chance to win a championship, no round twos. Was that a shot at Drake? Was he taking another jab at Drake in the midst of all this beast shit that's been going on?
Absolutely. There's no accident there. Drake literally was talking about we'll be back for round two or something a week or two. No, bro, that was absolutely at Drake. He said, what are you talking about? There's no, who else could he be talking about? Yeah, bro, that was definitely a shot at Drake. Sure.
Yeah, literally at the ultimate game where you get one chance to win. Like, there's no game 7. This is not a series. Okay. You win or go home. That's it. And that's what the Super Bowl is, and that's what this beef is. And I think Kendrick just had to let him know, like, no, we're not doing that. Like, you lost, bro, and that's it. That's the end of it. It's over. Release 100 gigs of content all day long. It doesn't change anything here. And as you just sort of pointed out just a second ago, like, the fact that, I mean, come on, like a year ago, J. Cole and Drake rap big as the Super Bowl. And now we come back almost full circle in the most ironic way possible with your antagonist, your opposing foe, now performing on the biggest stage possible. I mean, Drake really stepped in it. Like, what the fuck, man? He's
the Riddler, bro.
This is unbelievable. I would be fucking mortified. I'm not gonna hold you like this. This is crazy. You think it can, you think it can't get any worse, and everything just continues to pile on. Like, okay, Not Like Us, Knockout Blow becomes the biggest song of the year, the song of the summer, all sorts of crazy business, billions of streams, all sorts of nonsense. People dancing to it, trends everything. It becomes a pop culture staple and phenomenon. All right, then we do the pop out. That becomes this other cultural moment in LA to bring together LA and gang culture and to just say like, yeah, if you ever question who might have came out on top in this beef, there's no more questions. Look what I just did. Now the Super Bowl, bro. Like there is no ultimate. There's no more of an ultimate fuck you than that. Like it's honestly, it's hard to wrap my head around this even right now because we are still so far away from it. But
yeah,
I mean, really, how more of a decisive victory could this have been? We've never seen anything like this. This has now officially, in my mind, become the biggest hip hop beef of all time just because of the levels that it's gotten taken to. It's just never, ever gone this far. So I'm astounded at that fact that just after everything that's happened over the course of really an entire year from that song, from First Person Shooter till now, who would have ever thought that it would have ended up this way?
Definitely not me, because that is insane. This is the most meticulous I have ever seen a rap beef in my entire life. And again, what's so interesting about rap beefs over the years is rap beefs usually like take years, bro. Like usually people are going back and forth for years. This was the quickest I have ever seen anything take place, and to this magnitude, from First Person Shooter to Kendrick Lamar performing at the Super Bowl, everything in between, crazy. Like that is, first of all, like less than 2 years for even that. But even the start of the beef, I don't know. It's just very impressive to see how short of amount of time this happened and to the degree this happened. It's unprecedented. And yeah, the documentary, whenever it comes out, is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait.
I think we're going to get fucking college courses about this. I think this is going to be put in curriculums, like how to dissect your enemy based on rap beefs. This, like, there's no better example. I guarantee you in 2 years, max, some college and somewhere in America, we will hear news. Oh, so-and-so university implemented a new Kendrick Lamar course about the beef with Drake, and they're going to dissect it from every angle. I mean, this is just, this is unbelievable art of war type of shit. I just couldn't have predicted this from the top. But the other big thing about this is who's not performing at the Super Bowl. Now we know it's going to take place in New Orleans. A lot of people have been calling for Lil Wayne to perform at the Super Bowl. Right. That's obviously his hometown. He's even said multiple times, you know, I would love to perform there. I know directly after the Usher performance this year in Vegas, people who interviewed Wayne, you know, knowing that the Super Bowl was going to take place in Louisiana and New Orleans in his hometown, have asked him. He said, I would love to do that. I would kill it. It would be amazing. But obviously we see that he's not selected here. And now a lot of people in hip hop are coming to his aid and voicing their support and also some of their anger about this decision that's not going to have him be a part of this performance. You know, Master P has released a statement, him also being a fellow New Orleans resident. He said, salute to Kendrick Lamar for performing at the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Well deserved. He's one of the hottest music artists in the world and has one of the biggest songs right now. But as an ambassador of entertainment in the city of New Orleans, I have to agree with the fans of Lil Wayne. He should be a part of the celebration as well. He's one of the greatest hip-hop artists alive, still relevant, and he's a New Orleans native. Let's not miss this cultural moment in the South. Life is too short. We have to give our legends their flowers while they are here. It didn't stop there. Other people have chimed in. Nicki Minaj, I mean, she just recently today, as we're recording this, went on a big rant. She has pointed a lot of anger towards Jay-Z, Cameron and Mace on their podcast. It is what it is. They're speculating about the reasons here, that there might be some ulterior motives because of the ties that Lil Wayne has to artists like Drake and Young Money and things of that nature. Birdman is not happy. Everybody has an opinion about this. What say you? How do you feel about Lil Wayne, you know, not having the opportunity to perform in his hometown on this grand stage, especially considering that you know, a lot of people are coming to voice their support for him, you know, and having this moment and the fact that he is like considered one of the greatest of all time. What do you feel about this choice?
So, is Wayne one of the greatest of all time? Yes. Would it have been cool to see him perform at a Super Bowl in New Orleans, where he hails from? Absolutely. That would have been great. Does it have to be right here, right now in New Orleans? No, it doesn't. And my whole thing is, where is it, to a degree, where is all of this coming from? I feel like in LA, Dr. Dre and whatever he did at his Super Bowl halftime performance, that was like the first time somebody had actually been from the hometown that the Super Bowl was in that was performing for a very long time, if ever. Beyonce performed in New Orleans in 2013, Super Bowl halftime show. Was this happening then too? I just have so many questions surrounding like the outpour and outcry for Wayne at this moment. Would it have been cool? Yes. But Kendrick is hot right now. Kendrick is an amazing performer. What's also wrong with Kendrick doing it? Were we like, I don't know, were we doing this for other cities? Like, is it just because it's New Orleans? And again, if so, did Beyonce get this pushback? And like, the Weeknd's not even from America. And our boy was performing at the Super Bowl. And it's just like, I don't know. There's like a lot of things here. They're just like, I understand people wanting it to be Wayne, but I think to the degree that people are upset is just like over my head, I think completely. And I think it would have been a cool, nice to have, but it's Kendrick's time. Let Kendrick have it, and maybe we'll try again when it's Wayne's turn. I remember somebody was saying like, did Wayne even have music recently? You don't have to have music recently at all. Like Rihanna hadn't come out with anything. She did a whole
it's not about
Super Bowl. Yeah, it's not about that at all. So that's not the argument either. But I think it's okay for it to be Kendrick. Nor do I think Kendrick would have let the opportunity for Wayne to be on stage with him go by either. Like, part of me is just like, can y'all just let him cook? Because I think something would have happened if y'all just let him cook for a little bit too. And now it's like, let's say Kendrick did make a play and Wayne was part of his performance. I was gonna be like, oh, you only did that because of this and that. I'm like, in my head, he probably was planning to do something the whole time. But now, I don't know. Now it's gonna look weird if he was decided to do it. So yeah, I just don't understand. I understand people wanted it to be Wayne. I understand why. I just feel like people are taking it to a degree that doesn't make any sense because there's not a ton of precedent for that happening in the first place.
Quickly, I'll just touch on the Wayne part about him possibly being part of Kendrick's performance. I'd be shocked just because of the affiliation with Drake. I just can't see Wayne being part of a set in which Not Like Us is also going to be performed a part of that set. That's crazy to me. I mean, Wayne is very much still tied to Drake and Young Money and all that stuff. But yeah, this is made up fake outrage. People are making this up. There is no precedent. This was not a thing. It really only became a thing with what Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg did in LA. Kind of a thing, very light touch when Justin Timberlake performed in Minnesota and did a tribute to Prince, who's from Minnesota, but Prince had passed away. You know, that was just like more of a tribute, again, to just like pay homage to this legendary artist who is no longer around, and we're in his hometown. So like, why not do this for like a couple of minutes, right? But the Super Bowl has never been a stage to be region specific. Okay, we're from this city this year, so let's get a local artist. It's just never been the case. I understand why that's a new expectation now because of what Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg did. I get it, because that was also a great performance. But at the same time, LA hadn't gotten a Super Bowl in 30 years before that. Like, there was not a proper Super Bowl there for decades. And so to really make it feel LA, I think that they almost kind of had to go that route, especially considering with Rock Nation now on board. Like, why not lean into that moment? It really is kind of once in a lifetime, because they hadn't had a proper Super Bowl there in a really long time.
And the Rams were playing.
Say what again?
And they got lucky because the Rams were actually playing. That
was exactly. That was also
crazy.
A big thing. So yeah, you really couldn't pass that up. So this is just, this is one of those things where it's unfortunate because now we're pitting, these artists against each other, and people are still giving Kendrick his flowers, of course, but also saying like, yeah, we should be honoring Wayne and he's the GOAT, but just transparently speaking, from a personal place, I've seen Wayne numerous times live. I love him. I do think he's one of the GOATs. Is he a tremendous performer? Probably not necessarily. Like, he's not terrible at all. He's good, but this is a stage of a different caliber. Everybody is not meant to touch the Super Bowl stage. Let's just allow that idea to soak into our heads. This is not an open free-for-all for everybody to be a part of this. Like, this is the Super Bowl halftime show for a reason. This is as prestigious as it is for a reason, because only a select amount of artists can really command this type of outcry, this type of attention, this type of conversation. You have to be literally one of the biggest artists in the world. And at one point, Wayne was, and he could be a part of this conversation, and they could bring him back as a legacy act and be a legend. I get all of that, but timing is such a big factor now into what they're doing with coming up with these acts. Like, that's like the biggest factor in all of this now, because Usher in Vegas, just made all the sense in the world considering what he was doing with the residency there. Just considering that he was going on a really, really tremendous run with an incredible show. People flew out to fucking see it. I flew out and got my ass to Vegas to see it. Like, that was a moment. Let's capitalize off of that. Rihanna, the inverse almost happened. Oh, wow, she hasn't performed live in like 8 years. Now it's time for her to come back, and she's also pregnant, so that's going to happen. So timing is just so important with these decisions now, and of course, not like us, the beef, everything Kendrick has done this year, it just makes all the sense in the world. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter where it was. It could have been in fucking Saskatchewan. It would have still been Kendrick. Like, it doesn't really matter. And so I think we just have to let that be what it is. Accept it. If Wayne is a part of it somehow, again, I'd be shocked. Maybe there's a creative way to do it, but I don't know if that even makes sense at this point. So it's unfortunate for him, but maybe there is an opportunity down the line. Never say never. Last thing I just want to quickly ask you, not like us specifically as the song, what are they going to do with that? He can't perform that song in full, like at the Super Bowl at the end of it. That's just not going to happen. Is he going to like interpolate it? Is he going to shorten it? Just do the chord? Like, what is he going to do with Not Like Us? I think we'll hear it, but in what form will we hear when it comes time for the halftime show?
Man, such a good question that I actually have no idea how they're going to do it. I think it'll be one of the interesting mysteries leading into the Super Bowl halftime show, to be honest, bro. I also think, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe, they probably won't. I was like, maybe they come out with some weird version between now and then, but they probably won't. They'll probably just have to doctor it up for the Super Bowl. But yeah, I honestly don't. I can't even answer that question. I have no idea.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile on the Super Bowl stage. Like, it's not. Yeah, I think maybe new lyrics. Maybe there are some new lyrics.
Clean version. Yeah, if you look at his performance in 2022, Dre did bring Kendrick out. I mean, again, shout out to LA, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there is still something in there. Like, Drake gonna have to understand, bro. Wayne can come out for a song and then go back. And so Drake gonna have to understand. But Kendrick killed that 2022, but he was doing all right, and he was doing like a super clean version of All Right too. Like, All Right's not the cleanest song in the world, but he was changing words, and so maybe he just have to change a lot of the words.
Yeah, this is pedophile claims. Like, we're talking pure, like, wow, like, get the fuck away from all of this. Like, there's no way the NFL is letting that fly. I think we hear maybe the chorus, maybe like a brief. It's just not going to be a thing unless he decides to do like completely new lyrics, which is also kind of hard to believe because the lyrics are so catchy. They are so ingrained and intertwined with what the song is, and so I know they'll figure it out. They'll get there.